doesn't how much you spend for these damn earphones. They always want to start up on you.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. We are reacting to another internet historian video. What is this title? The Failure of Fyre Festival. Fire? That's Fire. That's Fyre Festival. They're trying to be cute with the spelling. I remember this being a big deal a few years back, but I really didn't get into it. I was too busy working, so I'm kind of interested in what internet historian has come up with. I love his videos. They're always so much fun. I'm in the midst of trying to re-record The Gentleman Pirate from his incognito channel. So trying to get that redone. Something with the sound start messing up halfway through the video, and I think I was recording that at like 6 a.m. and I caught myself like falling asleep throughout the video. Like I started doing the nodding off thing. That's not a good look for a video, just having the reactor fall asleep. So I'm going to have to re-record that. But this is actually 10 minutes and 52 minutes. I'm so used to his long videos. I started out with 30-minute videos, and then the Cost of Concordia was like 45 minutes, and then the Gentleman Pirate's like an hour and 16 minutes. So when I saw this one, I was fully expected to be like 30 minutes and above. This is actually 10 minutes and 52 seconds, which, oh my God, internet historian, you actually do short videos? That's news to me. So let's get into this reaction and see what it's like. Here we go.
Hey, all you little fucking nerds watching online.
We like to fuck in the ass.
X-rated! Woo! Yeah, come on, baby.
Yeah, get into it.
Hi there. You're probably wondering how I got this tan. Well, let me tell you the story. It begins with a man by the name of
I love this Castaway.
Billy was a good boy. At 22, he had dreams of becoming a super wealthy entrepreneur, dropping out of college to start a business called Magnesis. Over the years, he managed to network with some powerful people.
Rick Ross.
One of them was Ja Rule. Translated from German, I believe it means, yes, rule. Over drinks, he pitched an idea. Here's an accurate recreation of that event.
Mr. Rule,
He said,
I have a brilliant idea.
Like, word, like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yo, this nigga too wild, fucking his bitch.
Precisely. Great minds think alike. It will be 2 weeks of absolute luxury
Great
in the
minds think alike.
Bahamas.
There was some smooching going on between that interaction. Is it real? An accurate okay.
Gourmet
sure.
food, luxury villas, hosted on a private island in the Bahamas called Fyre Cay, once owned by Pablo Escobar. VIP
really?
tickets up to $250,000. Swimming pigs. Blink
pigs.
182. Major
Oh my
Laser,
God.
a steel drum.
Major Laser.
Welcome
Laser.
to Fyre
I like that.
Festival. The best 2 damn weeks of your life. I bought my ticket immediately. The day arrives. About 5,000 people are making their way directly from Miami Airport.
I love how
and
he
there are huge
photoshopped
delays
his
to get
face
to
on
Fyre
someone's
Cay.
body.
Although I shouldn't say Fyre Cay, because it doesn't exist. In the marketing, they referenced this island, which is actually Norman's Cay,
What?
run by George Young, not Pablo, by the way. But that doesn't matter because we're not going there either. We're going to Great Exuma. Private island? Forget that. Population? 7,000. In fact, we're basically in the parking lot of a Sandals resort. In the end, only about 500 of us make it to the island. The remaining customers' flights are cancelled. You're about to see why. We're hauled onto a school bus and taken to the site.
School bus?
A gravel lot with a bunch of FEMA tents.
FEMA tents.
Remember those promises of
Oh,
luxurious
yeah. Oh,
villas?
no.
Great job. Enjoy your
Oh,
stay.
God.
And don't forget your complimentary cup of UNICEF rice.
Turn this bus right around.
Once there, no one knows whose tent belongs to whom, so staff try getting everyone into a line. Then they abandon their idea and tell everyone it's a free-for-all. Expecting a party, this guy took all of his drugs on the flight over. He's the only one having any fun.
Come on, man, I know, right?
Everyone else is grumpy because it's been 5 hours and there's no food.
What?
In lieu of food, staff decide to start handing out tons of free tequila.
Are you
This only
serious?
exacerbates problems.
Oh my god.
Once the food does arrive, it's just as delectable as promised.
Who's
though.
this guy?
Gourmet craft single there.
Scaring me.
A few hours later, bags arrive on a shipping container. It was getting dark and there was no lighting.
So everybody's walking around with their cell phones trying to look for their luggage.
Plenty of people had their luggage stolen. But don't worry, if you have any valuables, the festival advertised top-notch security. Here it is. But no one told guests they had to provide their own lock. There are rumors of muggings by the locals.
I heard rumors of feral dogs.
A tent supposedly
Oh,
caught
God.
fire. The closest beach has a rampant shark problem. Staff
One
don't
thing
have
on
any
top of
uniforms
another.
or walkie-talkies, so no one knows who's in charge, and the people who are in charge can't talk to each other. Here's the bathroom. Many staff quit after only a couple of hours. For the few customers who were willing to just make the most of it and enjoy the music, they had some bad news too. All of the major musical acts pulled out. In fact, Major Lazer wasn't even confirmed to go in the first place. The event was promoted as cashless, so all people had were these useless Disney bucks on their Fire Band, which meant they couldn't buy anything or catch a cab if they were stranded. And even with only 500 people, there are too few tents and beds, so everyone is just stealing each other's. And for any of you thinking you could just
Jesus.
escape to the sandals, bad luck. It's peak season and they are absolutely full. People are reaching out to the embassy for help. After a few hours, most people chose to go back to the airport, and the rest were forced back home when the Bahamian government stepped in. The festival was closed. But the exodus from the island made its own problems. Guests spent hours dehydrated and hung over in a hot building. Why staff locked the door isn't entirely known, but one girl fainted before they were finally reopened.
Are you serious?
Everyone
Pause
gets home.
that. Pause that. Oh, that's nice. I'm stuck out here in this horrible situation, and you gonna lock us in? Who was the brainiac? Who would do that? As far as, what's the point of doing that? Why would you lock everybody in? You feel like we don't want you tourists walking around anymore on the island. We're going to lock you in here. That makes no sense. That's like a fire hazard, isn't it? Oh my God, Jesus. Play.
And that was the end of it. Except for me. I was
What were you doing? Playing frisbee?
rescuing someone,
Jogging.
helping them out, and I got lost in the woods. Anyway, back at home, the shitstorm on social media was just ramping up. The Reddit Fyre Festival was created, and it started documenting everything that went wrong at the event. People were circulating a fake tweet by Jar that the whole thing was a social experiment. Some wholesome festival memes there. And it quickly turned into a marketing case study of what not to do. In response, Fyre started serving cease and desist letters to stop people from saying mean things about them. Mr. Rule released an official statement online, both apologizing and saying
surprised?
that it's not his fault. Interestingly, he wasn't even on the island at the time. He was giving a concert in Chicago. Although, to their credit, they offer everyone a full refund. Or, you could always let it ride and opt in for tickets to 2018's Fyre Festival.
And
What?
a VIP ticket to next year's Fyre Festival if they decide to go. Exactly.
Meanwhile, Billy is on full damage control. He claims that a storm came in the night before and changed all of the marketing into lies.
We got to a point that we were very excited about on Wednesday night with how the two sites looked, and we got hit by
He
a big
looks as
storm.
douchey.
But the
For some
apologies
reason, I
weren't
think of
enough.
Ben Affleck.
A few
when I'm
days
looking at
later,
this
and the
guy,
first
and I
lawsuit
can't
was
stand
settled.
him either.
Attorney Ben Misalis doesn't think it's funny. He's filed a $100 million class action lawsuit against the organizers.
Then another
Yeah,
suit.
no shit.
Then 7 more. Then the feds got involved, claiming Billy had committed wire fraud. serious charges with serious prison time. More on that later.
Fines
Right
up to
now,
$1
let's go
million.
into the history of Fyre Festival. The marketing was clever. To get the word out, they got in touch with about 400 influencers, Instagram celebrities, and they offered them VIP tickets or cash to promote the event. They even managed to get Kendall Jenner to post about it. Rumor has it she was paid $250,000 for this post. Their marketing worked though. The festival sold out. So how did it go so wrong? Let's start with the money. During the planning process, a consultant came in and said the festival would cost $50 million and require another year of organization.
They should have planned this 2 whole years out.
This is after they made all the promises, and they had nothing near that amount, so they started cutting expenses way back. Remember those luxury villas? They were going to cost $10 million alone, so they scrapped them. Now everyone gets a tent. Deposits for the bands? Nope. Food, infrastructure, staff, all were cut back. But, you may ask, how did they have so little cash if they sold out? It's the price. It was way too low. Now wait a minute, up to $250,000 a ticket is too low. In fact, on social media, people were so merciless and unsympathetic towards the guests because they thought it was a bunch of rich kids paying for tickets with a starting price of $12,000. And you can thank fake news for that assumption. You see that number repeated everywhere.
Okay.
But actually, very few were paying even close to that amount. The standard price was around $1,200.
Oh,
which, if you think about 2 weeks in the Bahamas,
that's a
with practically all of your expenses
difference.
taken care of, that's pretty bloody good. In fact, some tickets were as low as $500.
6 months ago, got together and got the early bird special for about $500. And this covered food, transportation, ticket, and somewhere to sleep.
How on earth were they going to break even with that?
If it sounds
They
too
weren't.
good to be true,
And on
it
the flip
is.
side, there's no proof whatsoever that anyone purchased a $250,000 ticket.
Who's on?
So basically, they're stuffed. Billy has to start taking tough short-term loans just to keep afloat. Which, by the way, is why they did the fire bans. It was to raise cash. It's reported that up to $2 million in Firebucks in-game currency was spent in the lead up to the event. But this wasn't even close to enough. Practically broke, and with the event only a few weeks away, the more experienced staff suggested postponing. But thanks to those short-term loans, he couldn't. So he insisted on going forward. Those staff tried to control the damage by telling celebrities and public figures not to go.
How was the Fyre Festival?
So, Billy and Jar are in some serious trouble. But, let's please have one failed festival that has a sequel. Well, Billy is out on $300,000 bail. His assets were frozen as at May 18th. He dropped his expensive attorneys. He's selling his property in New York. He tried to sell Magnesis for $150,000, but it was cancelled for being fraudulent. Massively in debt and with no hope of paying it back, Fyre went into involuntary bankruptcy. And that is the end of Fyre Festival. I'll keep you posted about whether Billy is going to jail. So long, Fyre Festival. You were
Picture Ja
too
Rule
beautiful for this world. And as for me, well, it's time to go home.
Bon voyage, my friend. 2 hours later. What the heck happened? How did you drown? That's not a happy ending for you, internet historian. Jesus. Wow, that was a cluster of a situation. That is a whole situation in itself. Wow, that is crazy. Dang, man. See, that's the reason why when stuff like that, oh man, luxury villas, this and that, 2 weeks, food included, all that for low amount of money. I would be very suspect on that, first of all. Because you have to be realistic and think about certain things. How much, if you break it down with normal costs of, for 2 weeks going somewhere, food, transportation, you know, other expenses, maybe you want to get some, you know, merch from the bands that are playing there, you know, things like that, just like added costs and stuff like that. It's going to cost more than $500 if that's the lowest. And come on. And now they kind of had a bad experience, and this is the reason why all these influencers, you know, I'm not going to get in the middle of that, because I'll be ranting and raving, and I don't want to be here ranting and raving about influencers and all that for about 30 minutes, because they're so ridiculous. And that's why I hate about all that nonsense. Instagram influencers, oh my god, that just... oh, it gets my blood boiling. But Internet Historian never fails. He comes out with great videos. I always find them enjoying. I hope you found it enjoying. I'm glad you guys stopped by. Of course, subscribe and like. Leave a comment. Say hi. Say what you liked about the video. If you did go to Fyre Festival, what was your experience? Just in case. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to check out my Patreon, I'm going to have some TV show movie reactions soon coming on to that. Full reactions you can watch. If you want to support me a little bit more personally through my Patreon, that way you'll have some content, including with that subscription with Patreon. And thanks for stopping by. Love you guys. Bye.
Whatever. The end. Yeah, it's the end, okay?
If I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect day.